7 minutes ago. I've been trying to fight the good fight, but you simps never learn. We got a panel who deserve nothing better than a porta potty cleaner. Yet just like the sun will rise tomorrow, you simps will be in their DMs. I'm choosing violence and y'all on notice. Okay.
Small dick energy.
Oh, SD,
Whoa,
small dick
you
energy.
hear that, Mike?
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's talk about small dick energy really quick.
Okay.
Who here has ever used the term small dick energy besides you?
Well, you know.
I have, and I regret it.
You have and you regret it. Okay.
Yes.
What about you, small dick energy user?
I'm not a fan of the phrase personally.
What about you, small dick energy user?
I think it's a metaphor.
Not literally, I guess.
It's a metaphor, but it means something still.
Yeah, I think the problem with it is that if you're, as a woman, going to ask for men not to objectify your body, it's hard to go and then objectify their
agree.
body and belittle it.
I agree.
So that's just kind of... What?
No, you talk. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. But
yeah,
that's just kind of my issue with it.
Yeah.
And my friend actually brought it up to me because we were sitting together and I just threw out the phrase. I was talking about some guy, and then he was just like, don't you find that like a little offensive? And I was like, oh, you're right. That is kind of like he went, it was just funny. He went into this whole thing about how he was pissed about it.
What about big energy? That's the more common one you hear.
It's not real.
Oh.
You don't have to actually
Same
have
thing.
a big to have big energy, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's just the energy.
Mm-hmm.
But it presupposes that if you're attaching a body part, which tends to be something that a lot of men are insecure about, to confidence, essentially. So for example, who here is for body positivity? Show of hands. Ish, kind of. So I don't know. I'd like to propose some new terms to the table. What do you think of loose energy?
Loose pussy energy.
Yeah.
It's giving 304.
I think too, like at the end of the day, if you have to insult either side, if you have to insult someone in order to get a point across, your point probably isn't that strong.
Sure, I agree with that.
So, so I'm not a fan of those like kind of terms personally, but I think that it is like thrown around, especially in our online culture where people aren't looking each other in the eye and like, you know, they feel kind of empowered when they insult people.
Okay, got it. Cavernous vag energy. Who's for it?
What does that even mean?
I mean,
cavernous.
Not really.
Cavern.
Doesn't really flow off the
Cavernous.
tongue.
Like a cave.
It's like a synonym.
Cavernous vag energy.
Would
Look,
the big j energy like parallel? Would that be pussy energy?
Ha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be like
TPE.
yeah, type of C energy, I guess. I get my issue with it with that term is, and it's so casually thrown around. You could, in most circles, you can probably throw around big energy like it's perfectly acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to like say type C energy, that's
Everybody
probably
would turn
gonna
and
like
look at you.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, that's.
Yeah, no, you're right. I had never thought about like big dick energy. Also, kind of, I had thought about it for small dick energy, but I had never thought about it for big dick energy.
Well,
it's
I think
kind of
I think it's small energy is worse because
yes, but it's
I think
still
they're
like
both bad.
you're
but
placing importance on somebody's body parts. It's interesting.
But
like,
in society, they do that anyway. Like, men are still going to do that to women.
do what?
Talk about our bodies and...
Sure, probably.
I feel like women talk about men's bodies all the time. Like, I hear all the
A little
time,
closer to the mic.
I always hear people talk about like man's height is like a huge thing that like, oh, I would never date someone below 6 feet. And like, that's the equivalent, I feel like, of a man saying, of like talking about like a woman's weight or something.
I think you owe an apology to Mike Davis for
Well,
saying
listen,
he has.
He wanted to be rude to us, so...
yeah, if you want.
And
you
I
can-
wasn't trying to say the phrase as in that way. You guys made me think of it differently, but I was just saying the phrase as a metaphor, not thinking about actually like the size of, you know, your thing. You probably have a great, huge thing.
Okay.
What
But, you
exactly
know,
does like small
The energy's
dick
off. The energy is
mean, though?
bad.
Okay.
That's
I have
it.
the answer to this one.
Okay.
It has to like originate from the fact that if you have like if you're extremely like tiny or like you have a really insecure about your size, when you sleep with people, you're gonna act a certain way. Like when you have your one night stands,
Like insecure.
you're gonna act a certain way so that they don't talk about it. Like if you're insecure about your size, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna treat the bitches that you can have one night stands with like shit? Because you're like nervous that they're gonna go talk. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it has to come from how those people feel. if anything. And then big dick energy is like just confidence, like flowing, like.
Which is
Small
true. A
dick
man with
energy
a
is
big
more of
dick
a
probably is
joke though.
confident.
But this is like, with small dick energy is more of like a joke, you know, like no one's gonna be like, oh.
Well, yeah, but it's a joke.
It's
but
a
if
joke.
if
It's just
if the reverse
demeaning
would not
in
be
a
viewed as
way.
a joke, for example, if you were to like say, I'm trying to think of one of the more positive ones, like not like skinny girl energy or some shit.
They kind of say that. They say like skinny queen or whatever, or like things like that, or
I hear the opposite, but